All right, we should be good. So, if you are sick and tired of being sick and tired about money and not getting ahead, not being where you want to be, today's going to be for you. You've got to stick around because we're going to talk about the three different things that could be going on for you, okay? So, it could be toxic money habits, it could be a toxic money mindset, or maybe it's just the circumstances around you that you're experiencing. And I'm going to give you strategies to help identify which one of the three or a combination you're stuck in and how you can get unstuck because nobody likes being stuck. That's not fun. Before we dive into that, though, if we have not met before, let me quickly introduce myself. So, hi, my name is Amy. I am the Money Confidence Coach. So, women hire me to ditch financial stress. I help them to master their money by creating confidence so that they can increase their financial security, design more options in their life, who doesn't want to travel more, multiply their income, and create a healthy relationship with money, which might be ironic, but it's one of the most important things. And if you're tuning in, make sure you stick around to the end because I have a special offer that I want to make sure that I tell you about. That is time sensitive. So as you're jumping on, make sure that you say hi. I want to know where you're at, and let's dive in, okay? So I've got three different things that we typically see if we have toxic money habits. Now, all right, let's just get into it. We're going to go with it here. As you have questions, if they come up, make sure to drop them because I will stick around and answer them live or come back later, okay? So the first toxic money habit that we want to address, this would be emotional eating, emotional shopping, retail therapy, those type of things. When something happens, emotions hit, and then we go to do something else. So emotional eating, that's definitely been something that I've done in the past and can still let myself slip back into. These things, as we talk about them, it's not coming from a place of good or bad. It's just kind of understanding where we are, what our triggers are, and what we are most likely to do so that we can create a positive structure around it. Because some of these things in moderation are totally fine. Like that's something that you should be able to do. And if you've heard me teach budgeting before, you know that I encourage you to have money to spend. So if you want to go spend money on some retail therapy, that is totally fine. This is about becoming aware of what it is. So if you know that you are definitely somebody when the emotions hit, which we all know they do, we either emotionally eat, emotional shopping, retail therapy, all those things. That's one of the first toxic money habits that we see come up. The second one is overspending. And this kind of can be that retail therapy type of thing, but it's a different frame of mind. Like we know that we're overspending, and we're overspending just because like we want to overspend. It can also come from a place of we've earned this. I've earned this, so I should get to spend money like that. This isn't again saying that you haven't earned it and that you shouldn't be able to spend money like that. We're talking about the habit though. But that thought process is like, I need to be able to spend money because I deserve this. Well, let's look at your finances and see what we actually can do right now and what we're just working towards. A simple way to look at it. Okay. The third thing is the toxic money habit that we're seeing is the lack of wanting to work. So if we don't put the effort in to earn our income, that can become a toxic money habit. So the lack of wanting to do the work that we need to take care of that, to have the money. Now, I'm not saying go work 80 hours a week all the time. I definitely don't teach that either, but we have to want to do, or the lack of actually working. Okay, so if you want to go to work or you don't want to go to work, that could be a whole different thing. But like, are you actually going to work? Or are you calling in sick all the time? Maybe when we're not necessarily sick, things are coming up and we're letting excuses slide so that we don't have to go to work. So that lack of actually working can be a toxic money habit as well. So toxic money mindset. Now, really, even if we have those toxic money habits, it all comes back to our mindset. So this is really the most important thing because we've got to get this to be able to move forward, regardless of what's going on with our money habits or our circumstances. If we don't have a healthy money money mindset, it's not going to work long term, and we're not going to feel good about it, okay? So, toxic money mindset. Do you find yourself saying, this always happens to me? If you do, that's one of the high signs that you do have a toxic money mindset. And it's something, again, not good, not bad. It's just simply what is actually going on. And all we can do now is make those steps to make that change so that we can do better. Okay. So if you're saying this always happens to me, that's your sign there. Okay. Second thing is if you find yourself saying there's never enough. We can't afford it would be another way to say that, but just thinking like, okay, there is never enough. There's never enough money. Like it's just the way it is. Like it doesn't matter what I do, there's never enough money. Okay. Second, that's the second sign that there's toxic money mindset going on. Again, not good or bad. It's just something that we need to work on and become aware of now. Okay. And the third one, we hear this quite frequently. That's just the way it is. Like this is what we have. A lot of people will reference this with debt, like, oh, that's just the way it is. We have to be in debt. Or that's just the way it is. We have to pay all this taxes. That's just the way it is, or we'll never get ahead. We'll never be able to do this because that's just the way it is. That's not true. And it's that sign of that toxic money mindset. And if we want to stop being stuck and to truly get ahead when it comes to our finances, we need to reframe the way that we approach that, okay? So there you go. 3 toxic money mindsets there for you. And then the last one we're going to talk about is our circumstances. Is it just your circumstances that are affecting you right now? Like with everything that happened in 2020, you're thinking like, okay, that's all that caused the problem. Like there was nothing I could have done for that. So you probably didn't create like the lockdowns and everything, but with our circumstances, what we can do is we need to be intentional in the way that we are showing up to things, again, with our mindset, how we're speaking into things, because our words and our mind is very powerful. We can create those circumstances with what we're speaking. So we need to be focusing on the positive, like what are we expecting to actually happen, okay? You can prepare, which is why creating financial security is such a huge thing that I talk about. If you haven't heard my story before, a lot of the reason why I have become a money confidence coach is from our experience with my middle son, Wyatt, when he was born. We had done some work on our finances, but we were nowhere near like where we wanted to be, but we had done enough that when life threw a curveball at us and he was in the NICU for 7.5 weeks and having multiple surgeries and procedures, like the work we had done was enough that I was able to be there the whole time. I was able to be there to be with him, just taking care of myself and taking care of my son. So many other people weren't able to do that. And if we hadn't have taken those steps to prepare and to start to create that financial security, again, it's not about arriving because we weren't anywhere near where we wanted to be, but it was enough that it was mattering, that it mattered. So creating that financial security and preparing in that manner is so important because we all know life is going to throw curveballs at us. It's just a matter of when and what you've done to prepare for them. And then the last thing is really being able to kind of step into that circumstance. So when that stuff happens, how do we approach it? How do we view it? So like with my son Wyatt, when he was in the NICU, like how do we view that? No, I ideally wouldn't have wanted him to have to go through all those surgeries, those procedures, and everything that he's gone through. But you know what? He's a stronger child for it. And it's also helped create me to be the person that I am today. So if we look at these circumstances and these trials, however you want to frame that we go through, we have to look at them with the perspective, like there is a lesson or something that this is teaching us because it is setting us up to be who that you were called to be, because there are people out there that are waiting to be able to either hear from you or be like you making a difference in their life. And that's not going to happen unless we learn to embrace those trials that we've gone through and to be able to come out on the other side and be that person that we're called to be. So looking at our trials not as bad things, but as a learning experience or something that's going to help equip you later on in life to be able to do more, whatever that might look like for you, okay? So I am going to recap here in just a minute. If you've got any questions, again, make sure to drop them I will either check the comments. We'll see if I can see them now. It doesn't always work right. But I want to share with you really quick. I've reached out to pretty much everybody that I think this would be a great fit for. But if you haven't heard, Budgeting Simplified is the new standalone budgeting course that I am releasing. We're going to start on Monday. This is going to be available $47. So if you're seeing this later, that's definitely going to be available for you and you can check it out. But I'm taking founding members and we're going to go through the program together for a crazy deal. $7. We're going to go through the 4-week program. We're going to be 4 weeks of group coaching together. And we're going to help you set up budgeting like in a simple manner. But more importantly, we're going to set you up to budget for prosperity, which is so key because we can budget from a place of limitation. It's like, okay, can we cut and what we can do? But truly, we're here to be prosperous. You want to be able to create that wealth. You want to be able to do more. Again, with the vacations, the financial security, you want to feel good about your money and you want it to be working for you. When you budget for prosperity, that's all done for you. And if you're thinking, okay, sounds great and all, but I'm living paycheck to paycheck and there's like not enough money. Like this isn't something that'll work. Trust me, it works. When we started to make the switch to budget in this manner that I'm teaching, totally game changing. You are able to start to see results and you feel good about the results faster because this works. We're focusing on, again, creating that prosperity and it helps you not stay in that place of feeling stuck in that paycheck to paycheck mode and there's not enough. Like, we get out of it faster, which is amazing. So that's Budgeting Simplified. Again, taking founding members only right now through July 4th. So if you want information on that, just drop a budget or send me a message. I will send that to you. But let's recap here, okay? So we went over 3 different toxic money habits, 3 different toxic money mindset flags, we'll call them that, and then 3 things to keep in mind if your circumstances are causing you to feel stuck with your finances. So the toxic money habits that we went over were emotional eating, emotional shopping, maybe some retail therapy going on. The second one was overspending, and the third was lack of not working, okay? The 3 toxic money mindset flags that we discuss is if you're thinking, this always happens to me, there's never enough, or that's just the way it is, okay? Those were our 3 toxic money mindset flags. And then with our circumstances, we learned to be aware of what we are actually creating with our mindset, what we're speaking, what we're saying. We learned to prepare because we all know curveballs are going to be coming at us, so creating that financial security. And then the third one was we learned to view those in a way that's setting up to make a difference because our trials aren't always a negative thing. They're helping us be the people that we need to be to create that impact that only you can create.